students, today we have this topic under the supervised learning, and that is a linear regression using least square method. So what we have to do in this case, this is a simple thing we have to understand. So let us take an example to understand the least square method. So the question is simple we have over here. As we know from the regression part, there are two attributes we have. One is independent variable, and other one is a dependent variable. So the person whose name is Golu and who need to found how many hours of sunshine versus the how many ice creams were sold at the shop from the Monday to Friday. It means from Monday to Friday, how many hours will be used for the sunshine, or depend on the sunshine hour, the Golu will sell the ice cream. So suppose there is only the 2 hours, then Golu will able to sell only the 4 ice cream. So if there is some possibility the hour of the sunshine is 9, so he can sell 15 ice cream. So that is all the problem. So here what is we have? X we have the hour of the sunshine, and Y we have the ice cream sold. So based on this parameter, you can say number of the hours are the independent variable, and Y is the ice cream sold, that is the dependent variable. So based on the hours of the sunshine, the ice cream sold will be measured or will be evaluated. So now this is the problem. Is it clear to all right now? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. Yes, so okay, this is a simple problem I'm taking over here. So what is the steps by which we can solve the problem? So I'm taking here some steps by which the information will be clear to all. So let us find the best m. M is what slope, and b is our interception point. And we can say this could be c or any variable name. It doesn't mean. So we can take over here b only. If you want to write c, you can write c. You want to write a, then you can write. So only the naming convention over there. So there is only the variable name. So that shows that our data in our straight line equations. What is the straight line equations? Y equal to mx plus c, as we have seen many times in the fundamental things of the learning the mathematics we have seen many times. So, but here we have the y equal to mx plus b. So m will be the slope and b will be the intersection point. After this point, what we have to do as initial label. So that is the point we have to understand. So as a step number 1, for each xy, for each xy, calculate the x square and xy. This is the point you people are required to understand. We have to calculate the x square and xy. Why I am calculating x square? Why I am not calculating the y square? Because while calculating the slope, there is a formula. So I need to put the such values over here. So that's why I am calculating this point. And next we have the xy. I am just calculating by multiplying the x and y values. So these are the two parts. So x and y, this information which is highlighting me over here, which is already given in the question in form of the hours of the sunshine and ice cream, which is to be sold by the Golu. So this is given. We are calculating the x square and we are calculating the y square. So how we can calculate this? Only the basic mathematics we are applying over here. What we are doing? We are just squaring of the x, then we are getting the square, and we are multiplying the x and y, so we are getting the here these values. So this is the two parts we can say. So first part belong to the our this part, and this is our new part we are calculating as per our. Now this is clear to all right now? Is it clear to all? So we are calculating the x square and xy. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
In the second steps, what we have to do? In the second steps, we have to do sum. We have to do sum of, I can write over here, sum of the x, y, and x square. Please listen carefully. Sum of the x, y, and x square, and x, y. So we need to calculate the 4 sums values. So first we are getting the summation of the x. So 26 we are getting. After adding the 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9, and next we are adding the y values. So those are the 4, 5, 7, 10, 15. So we are getting the 41, and we are doing the summation of the x square. So we are getting the 168, and we are multiplying the x and y, so we are getting a 263. So here you can observe over here how many data points we can say we have. So it is very simple, and we have the 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5. So total number of the n, we can say we have a 5. So here the number of the data values will be the 5. Now it is clear to all right now. This second step is clear.
Yes, sir.
I'm repeating once again, you people are required to just know what are the values you have to calculate. You have to calculate the summation x, summation y, summation x square. So for calculating the summation x square, you must have to calculate the x square values, and summation of the xy, then you must have to calculate the xy values. So that's why we have this point. After moving to the next step, that is the third step, you need to calculate the slope. So this slope we have to calculate. So what is the formula, as we have seen many times, and this is the point I have written over here. Slope formula will be the n into summation of the xy. So this value we have already calculated, so that is a 263, and n we have the 5. We have already got this answer from the previous slide. Summation of the x we got the 26, and summation of the y we got the 41. So we are doing this one. So this would be as a two parts, one a denominator or numerator. Now we have a numerator over here, so this is the point, we can say this is the point. And after applying the division operator, or you can say the denominator, we have the n into, so we are putting the n value, that is 5, and summation x square, that is 168, we can say over here, and summation of the x whole square, so we have to use the 26 value rather than the 168. So try to understand, do not do any mistakes. The student can do the many mistakes over here. You have to do the whole square of the summation of the x. We are not using summation x square. Okay, so that is the point. And do nothing, just put these values and do the respective calculation, then you will have what is the m you are getting. You are getting m, that is a 1.5183. so please keep in mind this value. We will see these values, how we are getting these values to our program. I will show the demonstration. Okay, don't worry. So this is the step number 3, in which we are calculating the slope. So 1.5183 we are getting. Now this is the formula we have to keep in mind while learning, while implementing the least square method. Okay, dear students, now tell me, is it clear to all right now? This is the steps. Is it clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Or
Yes,
any
sir.
problem you have, so please you can ask. So I'm highlighting, I'm just, so please keep in mind. Yeah, okay, thank you. So this is a simple point we are putting, because I will share some more question on the least square method. So for your practice purpose, you can do the practice in the tutorial, and you can determine the n and b, or we can see values, that is slope and interception values. Now moving to the next part, so here we are calculating the interception point. So the formula we have in simple way, summation of the y minus m into summation of the x. So before calculating the interception point, you people are required to calculate m, that is slope value. So whatever the values we are getting of the slope, here we are getting the 1.5183. So we are putting these values over here and put all the values into the respective equations part. So we are putting all this value and we are getting the b value, that is a 0.3049. I am speaking once again to all the students, please keep in mind this value, you have to keep in mind, and this is the most important point. So after calculating the interception point, we are getting the 0.3049.
Sir, when we are finding the value of m, so it is compulsory to take it to 4 decimal places.
No, it's it is better idea to, you must take the 3 decimal point, that is enough. So do not require to use your decimal point 3 or 4, but if you want to solve your problem by the 2 decimal, that's enough.
Okay,
it is not necessary. It is not necessary. It is not necessary. See, if you are not choosing the 4 decimal or 3 decimal, then definitely our answer of the B could be 0.305 rather than the 0.3049. So there will be the no issue. Okay, so answer, we are close to the answer, so no issue. Oh yeah, tell me right now, how to calculate the interception point. It is clear to all right now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So now what is the next step? Next step, we need to assemble our equations by the line. So what is our equations of the line? Y equal to mx plus b, we have seen. So just put the values of the m and b here. So what is our equations? Y equal to 1.58. Here I am taking only 3 decimal. And so what we have, the 1.518x plus 0.305. Now, so this is what, this is the our values, or this is our equations we are getting for our problem. Okay, so this is the equations for our problem. Equations for the problem. Now, this is a very simple question we are taking in the our this concept, and this is the important point we have to understand. So least square method is again important method. Now, after the assemble, so what we have to do? We have to do something properly. So we are putting, just you can observe over here. You can observe over here the few things what you are observing. The point we have written over how it's work out. How it works out. It determining the things over here. Why this is the x, which is the actual value of the our independent variable. This is the actual values of the our dependent variable. So this y we are actual values. With the help of the y equal to 1.58x plus 0.305, what we are doing, my dear students, we are calculating the predicted values. Okay, so this is known as the predicted values from the our equations or the model we are getting, and this is the actual values. So what we are observing there is some differences we are observing over here, and differences, gap and error can be evaluated by the our simple formula, the predicted values minus actual values. So I'm taking the pi minus ai, and I stands to 0 to n. So n is, we have the, or 1 to n, we can say, depends on the your index or indexing of the rows. So 1 to n I am taking. So what is the first value? That is 4 and 3.4. So differences we are getting the 0.66. That is the point. So this is our error we are getting. Now is it clear to all right now?
Yes, sir.
So after plotting the actual values of the y and predicted values of y with respectively x, our graph will look like this one. Now this is the our screen I am showing to all. Is it clear to all right now? Does graph is visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
what, yeah, okay, so what this graph is containing, this graph contains the two parts. You can easily check over here. This blue dots are representing the actual values. Okay, this is the actual values with respectively all the ways. So this is the point. So what is the value? We have the 2357. Okay, so this is the x value of the 2. This is the 3, 5, 6, 7, and what is the next value? 9. So we have this value, that is 9. So with respectively actual values of the y, we are getting the some value. So with respect to what we have the 4. So this is lying on the 4. Okay, so this is a 4. That is the point you have to understand. And with respect to 3, we have the 5. So this is plotting. So our, this is the blue dots in the form of circle are representing the actual values. So I have already written over here actual data points. Okay, and if talking about the line, so we are getting the our regression line followed by the predicted values. So this is the point we have to understand. So now you can understand respectively 2, we are getting the 3.34. So so this is the point where it is lying 3.34. So between the 3 and 3, 4. So this is the point. This is the point I'm just marking by the my circle. That is known as the our predicted values. And with respect to 2, we have a 5. So with respect to 3, we have the 5 predicted points. That is the actual value 5, and predicted values we have the 4.86. So it's close to this point 4.86. So we can say it is plotting here. So that's why we are drawing the line, or that is known as a regression line, followed by our equations y equal to mx plus b, and we can say this equations is following the y equal to mx plus b formula. So what are the equations we have? Y equal to 1.5 1.518 x, let me write correctly, x and plus b. So what we have calculated b? 0.305. Okay, so this is the our line which is known as the regression line. So what we are getting, the what was the problem? So Golu is a person who will decide the selling the ice cream based on the number of the sunshine. So Golu hears the weather forecasting which says that the tomorrow 8 hours will be the sunshine. So getting the news from the weather forecasting, so he can expect that 8 hours of the sunshine will be tomorrow. So by putting the x value as 8 here, so y equal to 1.518 multiplied by the 8 plus 0.304. So what can expect, what he is predicting, at least I can sell the 12 to 13 ice cream based on the our input. Okay, so Golu makes the fresh waffle corn mixture for the 14 ice cream just in a case that is we have such an example. So now this is clear to all right now. So if the weather forecasting predicting the prediction 6 hours will be there. So definitely based on the 6-hour prediction, we can determine the how many ice cream which can be possible to sell by the Golus tomorrow or next after tomorrow. So based on that, you need to put the x value as 6 or 7, whatever you want to put. Just calculate the tentative selling or prediction of the selling of the ice cream. Now, is it clear to you all right now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, tell me.
Yes, sir.
This is a simple problem we have seen to the our least square method. Is it clear to all? That is okay. Now, let us discuss this point with a simple way. We have already seen. So it works by making the total of the square of the errors as small as possible, and that is why it is called the least square. So error is we are getting by the gap or difference between the actual data points and the predicted data points which are on the line, and that is the point. So the straight line is minimize the sum of the square error, so that's why we are using these equations. So when the square each of those error are add them up all, and total is then the smallest possible. So that's why the least square method is using for simplification purpose. So you can imagine there is a connection between the actual data points and predicted data points while solving the problem in the regression. So there is spring between. This is just only the imaging purpose. You can say there is spring between the actual data points and the target data point or predicted data point. So this is what this is written over here. You can just imagine, this is not accurately. This is imagine each data point is connected to a straight line by a string or by a spring, you can say. So that is the only meaning. Now, is it clear to all right now the least square method with the help of the numerical quotient rather than the unnecessary theory? Yes, tell me, is it clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so this is an animated image which described it while updating the M or C values or B values. Our line will be more fit to the our data points. That is known as the choosing the best line fit. But according to the data set, we can't change the many values of the slope. So we have to update our data set, and we have to calculate the new value of the m and slope and intersection point. Then we can get the our line, that is regression line, which will be close to the data points. Okay, this is the only point. So this is just idea about the least square method with help of the one example, and that we have seen through the example.